Hello and welcome to my creative space. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Welcome to another DIY video. If you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe and join this creative squad. In today's video, I have 5 DIYs that can be used either indoors or outdoors. I hope you're ready to see what I have for you, so let's get started. For this project, I will be using 3 of these little houses from Dollar Tree. They're different sizes. I'm also going to be needing this stick. It measures 24 inches. And then I am going to use vinyl, but you can use stickers or anything you have on hand. And then black paint, you make your choice, whether you want to spray or liquid. And then I am going to start with the 3 little houses in the stick. And I'm trying to put them on top of the stick to see exactly where I want them to sit, and then I am going to use hot glue to hold them into place. And then as you can see, I added the hot glue and then put the house on top, but I wasn't sure if it was sitting in the middle. I tried to use a ruler and it didn't seem right, so I turned it around, ended up removing it and then adding some more hot glue, and this way I could see a lot better. And I end up grabbing my ruler and it was sitting in the middle. Now I will do the exact same thing to the bottom. I decided to glue the top and the bottom first because I thought it would give me an idea of where I needed to place the little house that will go in the middle. I didn't do a great job, but it is what it is. So we're gonna move on. Now it's time to spray paint our houses. I decided to go with black spray paint, but you could use any color. And I was going to do this because I was trying to be lazy and I wanted the whole thing to be black, the inside, the outside, and I was like, this is gonna be way faster than doing it by hand. But I was a little wrong. So once I was done, I don't know if you can see the inside of the houses, they didn't paint it all the way and it was bothering me, so I decided to grab this scrapbook of paper. This is definitely optional. You could paint the inside a whole different color, but because mine didn't work, I ended up having to do this. But these papers, I grabbed them from Hobby Lobby, and so I traced the little house on the paper, but of course it was too wide, and then I had to trim the edges to make sure it fits. So I cut the top, and the top was fine. Then I just had to trim both the 2 sides and the bottom of this little home, and I kind of pushed it in there and kind of make a crease with my nails. And then once I thought that this was going to work, I end up removing the whole paper and then just trimming the edges. And then after that it's going to fit. But I wanted to say that I grabbed this paper from Dollar Tree, and not Dollar Tree, I'm so sorry, from Hobby Lobby, and they had a 50% off on them. So I think I ended up paying like 30 cents for each of these sheets of paper, and I ended up using 2 of them. Okay, now jumping back to the DIY. Once I got all my 3 little houses, I am going to hot glue them into place. The reason why is because I don't have Mod Podge, so I decided that I was just gonna go with hot glue. So I end up adding hot glue to the edges, and they looked fine. But of course, if you are going to use this decor for outdoor, you want to seal them with something, just because if they're gonna be exposed to rain or anything like that, you want that to stay in place. Okay, once that was done, I end up using my Cricut machine, and I cut the words "Welcome to our home." And as you can see, the word "welcome" was a little too big, so I had to trim a little bit off of it to make sure it fit, and then kind of just put it sideways instead. And it's not what I was envisioning, but then it ends up working out and I end up liking it a lot. So I am just placing these letters into place. placing these letters into place. That's so silly. But anyway, I am just adding these words into the little homes, and that is honestly all I did for this project. Now you can add a hanger to the back, or you can leave it as is and sit it somewhere, make it lean on something so it can stand up. But I think these houses were adorable, super easy to make, and you can make them any color you want. And I really like how easy this project was and how beautiful this turns out. That completes this project. And here is the end result. I decided to take mine outside and go ahead and sit it on top of the planter that I DIY on my last video, which the video would be showing up somewhere up here. So click on it if you're interested in seeing how I DIY it. And yeah, that is all for this project. Now let's jump into the next one. For this project, I am going to use this bucket I picked up during fall season at Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to need 1 container of caulk, as well as 4 wooden beads, and then some black and white paint, and then a couple of things along the way. Okay, I'm going to start with the bucket, and I'm going to hot glue the 4 beads to the bottom. This is going to be our new legs, and I wish I had a little bigger beads, but this is what we had, so we're gonna go with it. Once they are glued into place, this is what it looks like. How cute is this? Now the next step is I am going to draw 2 vines around this. I hope that that's what they're called, but I am going to create or I guess draw these 2 lines along the sides of what the words that this container already has. And then once they are I draw those, I'm going to add some leaves to them. This is so it can help me for the next step. I am going to use the caulk, and I was hoping this was gonna work, and I promise you it does. So I'm going to add this on top of it. So this is why I draw the vines on it first, so I know exactly where I need to be adding my caulk. Now it's not gonna look perfect, but I promise you it looks really pretty once it's done. And I wish the tip of this was a little finer, because I feel like it would have been a lot better. But you know, we work with what we have. So I where we draw, that's where I'm adding this. I wanted to keep the words farm fresh on there, and then I was gonna add garden. I try to write it with my hand, but like my writing is horrible, so I end up scratching that off, and instead I end up adding these 2 cute flowers. They're the laser cut flowers from Dollar Tree. So I grabbed 2 of them, and that's what I decided to hot glue in the middle, and they sat there perfectly fine. Once that was done, I decided to add some texture, because this is going to be an actual pot for me. So I wanted to give it some texture, make it look like it's actually like pottery, but like still give it that farmhouse look. And this is what I came up with. So I added the caulk, and then with a separate brush. This is a really tough brush, actually. I think I picked it up from Dollar Tree somewhere. And then I just kind of stamp it on there until I cover up the whole thing. Once that was done, I painted my soon-to-be pot in the color black. I used spray paint because this is going to be a pot that is actually going to go outside, and I needed this paint to stay. So I gave it a good coat of paint. Once it was dried, this is what it looks like. Now you could leave it like this, but I decided to distress mine, and I added some white paint. Now I just went crazy with it. I just added paint in. Until I was happy with it. So you have fun here, you know, decide how much paint you want. It doesn't need to be perfect. I love the way this is looking, and I really love that those flowers are there, because I think it gives it that look that I was looking for. And so here's a look at what mine looks like now. And then once that is done, that is actually all for this one. Now I am going to add some flowers and you know, some greenery, just so you can see the look. But I am going to be buying some plants. I know I said that on my last video, and I am going to buy some plants. Okay, just hang in there. I'll show you when I get them. If you follow me on Instagram, I will show you there. So this is all I got for this project. Now let's take a look at the end result. And here it is. I absolutely love how this cute pot turned out. I think I'm going to be doing this on a bigger one and I'll see how that turns out. But I absolutely love it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about my project. For this project, I am going to be using this Dollar Tree sign that I picked up during Easter season, actually here recently. I'm also going to use this Dollar Tree sticker or decal. I will be using some black paint and something to create a hanger. Now I am going to start with the sign and I am going to trim off the bunny portion. It's really sad, but I'm not gonna need it, so I use my hawk saw and I'm going to be cutting that off. And then we're gonna move on to the next step. Bye bye bunny, we're gonna miss you. Okay, now here is our sign, and now I'm taking the sticker and I'm removing the end of it because I'm trying to see how much I need to paint on the edges. I decided to do 1 centimeter, so I'm gonna mark a centimeter up and down on both sides. This is so it can guide me when I go in there with tape. And as you can see, I am using clear tape. This is regular Dollar Tree clear tape, but if you have painter's tape, I feel like it would work better. It should work better than this, but this one does the job. You just have to be very careful. Now once I add the tape, I'm sorry, to the top and the bottom, now we're gonna go in with some chalk paint from Dollar Tree. And I would say don't paint like I'm doing right now, because you're risking getting the paint under, which I did a little bit on one side. Paint up and down as I'm doing it right now, because it's going to help you keep the paint just not away from the going under, you know. And once I do that, I do the exact same thing on the other 2 edges. And once I am completed or once I'm done painting the edges, I remove the tape, and this is what it looks like. And I didn't show you on the top and bottom, but this is the end result on this. Okay, now the next step is to grab the sticker, and this project is super easy and I think it turns out really, really cool. So you take the sticker, and then I'm trying to figure out, or I'm trying to make sure that this is as centered as possible. Once that is done, all is done is to either, if you're gonna hang this, then create a hanger, and if you're not, if you're just gonna place it somewhere around your house where it's gonna be leaning against something, then you don't have to worry about this step. But this is what I did. I took some twine, created a knot on the end, and then I just found something else to cover that up to you know, make sure this is gonna stay in place and secure. And then that is all for this project. How easy and cool this project turned out. And here is the final result. I loved that this project was so easy to make and can definitely be used indoors and outdoors. Let me know your thoughts down below on this adorable sign. Okay, for this project, I will be using 2 of these Dollar Tree signs, and then I have these really thick wooden dowels that my husband brought me the other day, and that is what I'm going to be using for this project. But you could definitely take these Dollar Tree signs that are a little longer and buy 4 of them and glue 2 together on each side. But that is definitely optional to you, how tall you want this to be. Now, you will need some buckets. Here are some examples. I don't end up using these, but these are all from Dollar Tree that I've had for a while. Now ignore that sign because we're not gonna need it, but we will need some paint. Okay, now I am going to start with the thicker wooden dowels in one of the smaller Dollar Tree signs, and I am going to use some hot glue for now. This is just so I can secure the pieces into place before we jump into the next step. Now I glued that one flat on, and then this one is going to be the skinnier side is going to, this is going to be the bottom. I'm sorry, this is going to be the bottom, so this is why the reason for this one sitting the way it is. Then I added some hot glue again. Then this is what it looks like. As you can see, this one is, the sign is looking down, on the other one is gonna face it forward. Okay, so this is a better look at it. Now, once that is done, I took my drill and I'm going to add some screws into this. I will be using mine for outdoors, so I need this to be extra secure. But if you are going to use yours for inside, then hot glue should be totally fine, or maybe grab some wood glue. But yeah, for mine, I am using some screws and I will be screwing the four corners into place. Here is a look of what mine is looking like. Now, I decided to add an extra piece at the bottom. I had this scrap of wood laying around. As you can see, it's like all painted in all kinds of different colors. And I needed this again because this is going to sit outside and I needed it to be a little bit more heavy. So this thicker piece of lumber, it's going to help it a lot, so that's why I decided to do that. So I used some wood glue as well as some hot glue, and I sat that on there, and that is going to be the bottom. Now here's a look at what it's looking like so far. And yeah, so I'm just making sure that I'm extra securing this piece. Now I was going to take it outside and spray paint it, but this day was so windy and it was not working out for me. So I don't show this part, but I do take it inside and I spray paint this completely with white. Now, once that is done and dried, the next step is to add this hook. This one, I have no idea what size it is, but it was a pack and I want to say it came with like 10 and I got them from like Walmart. And I am going to use this I'm going to screw it on there because this is going to be holding our planter. I was able to screw it on there with my own hand. You don't need any extra tools. Then once that is done and secure, I am going to take these chains that I had from last year. These are the Dollar Tree planters. They are holding a black basket. I just removed the basket. I don't know where the basket is, but I had these ones from last year. So I just take these chains and they're easily you can easily open these little hooks on them and then make them shorter. So that's what I did. First of all, I removed one of the chains because I had 3. And then the chains that I had left, I cut them shorter because I don't need them to be as long. And then I just push them back into place. And my chains are ready. Now this is the bucket that I will be using. I did pick it up from Dollar Tree a while ago. I think I've seen them still. I'm sure they still have them. And now this part is optional, but I decided to make this a sign. And so I end up using vinyl in my Cricut machine and cut the word welcome. But if you want to do this, you could use stickers. And if you don't want to do it, you could definitely skip this. But I decided to go with this and I absolutely love it. And that completes this project. All that's left is to add some flowers to our pot and we are done. Now, here is the finalized project. I am so happy how this project turned out. I was inspired by Pinterest. I have seen some of these and I wanted to DIY my own, and I'm so happy I did it because I absolutely love it. This is probably my favorite DIY. Let me know in the comments down below which one is yours. And for this project, I am going to be using this box I picked up from a thrift store. I think it cost me like $1. And then I'm going to use this knobs I had for a long time. And I'm going to be using some white and black paint. Now, I am going to start with the knobs and I'm going to be gluing them at the bottom of this box because these are going to be our new legs. And these items, of course, are not Dollar Tree, but these might be items you have laying around your house and you don't know what to do. And I decided to include it in this video because this box could be used indoors and outdoors as well. I think mine is gonna go outdoors for sure. And yeah, I just wanted to include it in this video. And then I wanted to ask you, are you interested in doing thrift flips? I know that not every store has the exact same thing, but you know, for the most part, you get similar items. You know, I absolutely love doing thrift flips and I want to start including that in my channel again. I did do some last year, but I would like to do some more, but I would like to hear your thoughts. So if you could comment down below and let me know if you're interested, I would love to know. But yeah, going back into the tutorial, all I did was paint this box, not everything white. I left the inside alone because I don't know, I just decided to leave it like that. And then the corners on this box, I really like the look on them, so I didn't mess with them. What I did end up doing after my white paint dried, I grabbed the chalkboard paint from Dollar Tree and the black paint, and then I just distressed my box with it because I think the white was good, but then I needed a little bit something. And when I added the black, I was like, yeah, that's what I was needing. So that's what I decided to do with mine. However, I do want to point out that I did like the grain on this box, but my legs were a different color, and then the box was a different color, and then the corners were different colors. So I was like, how am I going to fix this? There was no fixing this. And I decided to paint it and then distress it with black. That's my take on it. Let me know if you would have done something different with this box. I love how this box turned out. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think. And yeah, I am hoping that if you are not subscribed to my channel, that you will consider subscribing and joining this creative squad. And now here's a look at my box. That is all for this project. It was really easy, and I think this box turned out super cute. Let me know what you think. Now let's take a look at the end result. And here is how I decided to style my little box. I absolutely love how this looks. Let me know in the comments down below which one of these projects was your favorite. Also, don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and let me know down below what you would like to see next. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to get more inspo, then click on one of these videos, and I will see you on my next DIY. Bye.